Power doesn't arrive with chains. It arrives with applause. At first, leaders rise as protectors, heroes, saviors. But slowly something changes. The voice that once listened becomes louder. The heart that once cared becomes colder. The hands that once built begin to destroy. History proves one terrifying truth. Power doesn't always corrupt instantly. It hardens hearts, layer by layer, until mercy disappears. Before we begin, if you want deep hidden history, dark lessons, and warnings humanity keeps repeating, subscribe to Top 10 Untold and stay with us till the end. Because these aren't just stories. They are patterns. And they are happening again. Warning, warning. 10 Pharaoh of the Exodus. When authority challenged God itself. Pharaoh was not just a king. In ancient Egypt, Pharaoh was believed to be a living god. The Nile obeyed him. The people bowed before him. Temples were built in his name. When Moses came with a simple message, "Let my people go," it wasn't just a political request. It was a challenge to Pharaoh's divine identity. At first Pharaoh laughed. Who was this shepherd to command a god king? Then the plagues began. Water turned to blood. Frogs flooded palaces. Darkness swallowed the land. Each disaster softened Egypt but hardened Pharaoh. The Quran, Bible, and Torah all describe the same terrifying process. The more warnings Pharaoh saw, the harder his heart became. Power had convinced him he was untouchable. Even when his people begged. Even when his advisors warned him. Even when Egypt was collapsing. Pharaoh's pride whispered, "I am too great to submit." Finally the Red Sea closed over him. Power didn't save him. It destroyed him. Present parallel. Even today, leaders surrounded by praise often ignore warnings: economic crashes, climate disasters, social unrest, believing they are above consequences. Future warning. How many modern pharaohs will wait for collapse before listening? Warning 9 Qin Shi Huang. The emperor who feared death so much he destroyed truth. Qin Shi Huang united China in 221 BC. He ended wars, built the Great Wall, created the first centralized empire. But absolute power changed him. Instead of feeling secure, he became paranoid. He believed everyone was plotting against him. To control thought itself, he ordered all history books burned, scholars buried alive. Why? Because history reminded people rulers could fall. He wanted a world where only his truth existed. Obsessed with immortality, he drank mercury potions believing they would make him live forever. Instead they slowly poisoned him. When he died suddenly, his empire collapsed within years. Power hardened his heart so deeply that knowledge became his enemy. Present parallel. Modern regimes censor internet, imprison journalists, rewrite history textbooks. Future warning. When truth becomes dangerous, collapse isn't far behind. Warning 8 Caligula. When power turned madness into law, Caligula began as a beloved emperor. The people celebrated him. Then power isolated him. Surrounded by yes men, no criticism, no limits. He declared himself a god. He forced senators to worship him. He planned to make his horse a consul, a mockery of government. Anyone who questioned him vanished. Rome became a playground for his cruelty. Executions were entertainment. Power convinced him he was divine, until his own guards assassinated him. Present parallel. Leaders who silence opposition begin living in fantasy worlds. Future warning. When leaders lose reality, nations pay in blood. Warning 7. Nero, the emperor who watched Rome burn. Nero ruled while Rome decayed. Fires spread across the city. Homes burned. People screamed. Ancient sources say Nero watched the flames calmly. Instead of helping victims, he blamed Christians and executed them brutally. Power made him blind to suffering. He cared more about his image than his people. Eventually revolts erupted. Abandoned by everyone, Nero took his own life. Present parallel. Governments sometimes blame minorities instead of fixing real problems. Future warning. When leaders protect pride over people, collapse follows. Warning 6. Stalin, power built on fear. Joseph Stalin ruled through terror. Millions sent to labor camps. Anyone who criticized vanished. Even his closest friends feared him. He trusted no one. Doctors were imprisoned, so when he suffered a stroke, no one dared help him. He lay dying alone. Power isolated him completely. Present parallel. Surveillance states, fear-based obedience. Future warning. Fear creates silence, not stability. Warning 5. Idi Amin. When brutality became entertainment, Ugandan dictator Idi Amin loved violence. He killed opponents publicly. He mocked victims. Power made cruelty normal. Hundreds of thousands died. Eventually his regime collapsed. He fled into exile, hated by the nation. Present parallel. Some leaders rule by fear theatrics. Future warning. Terror never creates loyalty. Warning 4. Pol Pot, ideology that killed mercy. Pol Pot wanted a perfect society. Cities were emptied. Doctors killed. Teachers killed. Anyone educated killed. Nearly 2 million died. Power erased humanity. Present parallel. Extreme ideologies still justify violence. Future warning. When ideas become more important than life, genocide follows. Warning 3. Belgian Congo, corporate power without conscience. King Leopold II treated Congo as his personal business. Villages burned. Hands cut off for missing quotas. Millions died for rubber profits. Power combined with greed removed all mercy. Present parallel. Corporations still exploit poor regions. Future warning. When profit beats humanity, horrors repeat. Warning 2. North Korea dynasty. Power that created a closed reality. Generations taught leaders are gods. Citizens isolated. No outside truth. Famines ignored. Criticism impossible. Power hardened hearts against suffering. Present parallel. Information control is growing worldwide. Future warning. Isolation breeds disaster. Warning 1. Corporate monopolies. When power isn't a throne but a boardroom, some corporations grow so large they control media, medicine, technology, food. They silence whistleblowers, manipulate truth, lobby governments, not with swords, with money. Power hardens hearts quietly. Present parallel. Big tech, pharma scandals, financial manipulation. Future warning. Who controls the world when corporations replace nations? Every time power grew absolute, hearts grew colder. History doesn't repeat exactly. but it always rhymes. If you see leaders ignoring pain, silencing truth, worshipping control, you are watching the same story begin again. Subscribe to Top 10 Untold. Share this episode. Someone needs this warning. Because the greatest disasters begin when humility dies.